All right. So, the grim reality of being an independent creator, engineering your own career, entrepreneur, I don't really care what you call it. I want to talk about some few points here because if you're anything like me and fall for Instagram lifestyles, things are very different when you actually come out here and do things. I want to express that to y'all because I want to help you. I want to save you from months of headache that I went through thinking that you can't do something until you're at some level. And freedom maxing is something that I love the idea of because that is quite genuinely the entire point of why we're here: to express, to create, to explore. And when we start managing and locking things down and start getting rigid with our plans, that's when God leaves the room. That's when all the fun just stops happening. And you go from a state of creation to a state of management by having attachment to outcomes. And so I booked this trip to Toronto to not only get visuals and do some creative work with a couple of colleagues, but also to just further my perspective and to give myself evidence that what I talk about in my head all the time and what I dream about is fucking $300 away. Like, it's not that bad. And that's the whole point about all this, because like this almost mosaic lifestyle that you see on Instagram where people are just traveling and being fulfilled in their creative work, there's definitely factors that we're not seeing. The 10,000 hour rule I believe in, but I also believe that the real technical details of how you make something work is truly hidden behind the scenes in today's culture. Like, this trip of mine is fully self-funded. I had to build everything out here, not the fucking city, but I had to get my hotel. I had to get my plans locked in. I had to afford and fund everything. I drove my own car here, so I had to get that right. Like, the real life of this is calculated, it's thorough, it's thought through, and realistically, if you don't have the self-trust and the confidence and the conviction in yourself to follow through on plans that may scare you, then, none of this is going to work. Like, I booked this trip on Monday, and throughout the entire week, I started to get second thoughts, and I had a little bit of doubt creep in, and, I just didn't waver my decision. I knew that I was going to feel a variety of things because I'm aware enough to know that emotions will pass and that you'll kind of go through roller coasters when you make, bigger life decisions. And obviously this is just a weekend impromptu trip. It's not that crazy significant. It's not like jumping across to a new country forever. However, it's enough of a change and definitely something out of my regular programming that it threw my nervous system off. The game of it all is to discern between your gut feeling and your conscious feeling, because they are kind of two different operating systems. And my gut feeling knew that I had to come out here and come do this. And like I said, like, this is self-funded and it's self-driven and I'm self-motivated, and it's a lot of like generating my own energy and putting my own feet forward with the tools and the trades that I have, and trusting that I can fulfill what I say I want to do. It's not as glamorous as you think, and there's no real handed out opportunity out here. You have to carve it, you have to create it, and you create that opportunity by creating value. And whether this trip turns into a life-changing experience and I get the craziest perspective that I've ever gotten, or it just turns into a subtle reminder that I am who I say I am, that's what we need. That's the evidence. That's what I'm talking about. And there's no rhyme or reason to limit yourself consciously and mentally when you can go figure out your limits by just booking the thing or seeing the place or talking to the person. Like, once you actually get in the field, 90% of that fear drops off. Like, when I actually got in a car and drove into Toronto, I started seeing city signs and lights, I was excited. I was ecstatic. Earlier, I was fearful. And that proves that the fucking conscious brain, or whatever you want to call it, like, it doesn't know. It just doesn't know. It's filling gaps with imagination because you need closed or open loops. You can't have that in-between state. Like, something needs to either be on or it needs to be off. And if you're an engineer like me, You can't live with a problem that's not solved. Like, I hate unresolved things. They kill me. But why I came out here and why I'm making this video and doing what I'm doing is to prove to you that you don't need a thick, thorough plan that involves A to Z. You just need something good enough to start and to get it going. And the rest of it is going to be a balancing act. And the act that you're balancing is rigidity and fluidity, because you do need structure, you do need an idea, you do need a plan, but you also need the fluidity to have spontaneity in your life, and you need to be able to have enough self-conviction that if things come up or things change, that you can handle it and still have a fucking blast and still have a good time with things. So with that, I'm gonna go get ready for the shoot that we're doing today and make sure all my shit's good, and then we'll tap in later. So shout out to y'all.